services for Unisphere. And Stu's going to be talking with us about the future of various technologies as they relate to virtual engagement. And then we have Jim Parker. Jim's the... No, we don't.
No, Ben Choder.
Ben Choder. Sorry about that. So we have Ben Choder. And Ben is the... he's the founder of Stream57, which is the company that was recently acquired by Intercall, a huge company out there. And Ben and Intercall are doing the streaming for this session. So thank you very much. And Ben is going to be talking about hybrid events. Then we have Lance Simon, who's vice Cohere. And Lance is going to be talking about engagement. Then we have Jim Parker, the other Jim Parker. And Jim is the CEO of Digitel, and he's going to be talking about training, accreditation, and certification. And then we have, of course, Steve Strickland, and he's the CEO of Expos2. And he's going to be talking about something that's very important, which is exhibiting and exhibiting success. Then we have Kevin Carboni. He's the CEO of 6Connects, and he'll be discussing perpetual environments. And then we have Malcolm Lotovs, and he is the CEO of Inexpo. And he's going to talk to us about some of the various different business models out there. And finally, we have Tom Weiser, and Tom is the VP over at CGS Virtual Events. And Tom is going to be talking about analytics and measurement. So I'm going to go ahead, and we've got quite an agenda there.
As you can tell by the comments so far, we're all pretty good at diagnosing and discovering new ways of doing the meeting rooms, the auditoriums that we have. But I'm here talking about the exhibiting space. We come from a physical event space with And what we find is that people spend lots of time over in the presentation space, but they spend relatively less time when they're visiting booths. The engagement period in a booth may be measured in seconds, and it represents probably the biggest challenge that we face, since in many cases, and certainly in all consumer shows, it's the exhibit hall that determines the success of the event as much as it is the meeting space. And there are some good methods that we are starting to see that are working for people. In particular, you can bring those same experts that you would have in your meeting room space and bring them into the booth, give them engagements inside the booth. And the second thing is that you have to give them some method of judging that they are winning, that they're meeting their goals. Whether it's sales that they're actually doing or numbers of downloads, something that lets them hang their hat on the fact that they're succeeding. And the third thing is that you got to realize that the people who are manning booths are salespeople. And they haven't developed the tools inside themselves to actually talk to a camera or talk to a keyboard and think that they're actually selling to people. They want somebody to walk by and make the sale directly to them. Marketing, it's not what any of us are doing. It's the time to make your event a success outside the software. Software is minimal relative to the time to market your event well. It isn't just a matter of shrinking the site down to work on an iPhone or smartphone. You can take parts of what you're doing, correct, and have it so that when you're walking through a physical show, if you have a lot of booths that are there, I should be able to walk with my virtual site enabled, walk in front of a booth and gather any information I want from them. I should be able to pass a card to them or set up anything that is a meeting later on. So it isn't just a matter of replicating the experience. It's actually adding some new features to it. Mm-hmm. Two things sort of came to mind. One is something that we as a group can do something about, and the other really isn't. It only takes one or two booths not loading materials to spoil it for six or seven booths around them.
Right.
And in a self-service model, as we're all moving more, or as more people are moving the self-service model, if you leave it to them, 50% of the booths will not have material, anything, in their booth a week, 2 weeks before the show. And it's disastrous if you can't get your producers or can't get you to get the materials in, to have content that's sitting in there. That's something that really is more on you than us. We can only prod you so far. Second thing is that there are some mechanical, some inherent things that we collectively in the past have not done well to get people to go to booths that are not on screen when you first get there. There are mechanisms that we need to employ to get people to come to, if you have 30 booths in a show, you can be pretty sure that booths 1 through 4 are going to get good attendance. Booth 27 is probably going to have trouble. And we have to work at displaying the content from those booths in such a way that those folks are going to get equal protection.